So now we are all live on YouTube. Good evening, YouTube. Today we have an immersion on the Talk Talk. The central topic of today is old is gold. Is an expression like to be more nostalgic and they reflect about the past. And they explain a little bit of the Talk and Talk for the viewers of YouTube. Talk Talk is a platform to develop the language skills. The mission of this program is try to get the language, try to listen, try to speak, make mistakes, and with that make get the fluency. That's the objective of the talking talk. Here we can learn English, Spanish, Italian, Mandarin, German, and in the future we can learn know like all languages in the world, I believe. So if anyone on YouTube wants to know about this program, just search on the chat of the talkingtalk.com.br. That is, guys. So let's warm your engineer. Brizola, could you introduce yourself, please?
Yeah, of course. Hello, guys. Good evening. My name is Lucas Brizola. I am 29 years old and I live in Sorocaba, city to encontro inside of São Paulo. I am single and I have a dog named Mel, a Shih Tzu that smiler than a bag of rice. Inclusive, tá fazendo um terror aqui no meu quarto. In my free time, I like to read, watch movies and series, and listen to music. I am quite eclectic, listening to everything from technobrega to rock, etc. I also enjoy nature and traveling whenever possible. One of my favorite foods is lasagna of our kinds and bake. Oh God, in the bakery rice. And I am addicted to ice cream. I love ice cream. On weekends, I like the quick activities like going to mall, park, cinema, 18s, etc. I've been working recruitment and selection area 14 years, 7 years, focusing recruitment technology professional as a tech recruiter. I still working on improving my English here at Talk and Talk since February of the years. I've been getting great results and I still focus no hashtag fluent English. That's it. Thank you.
You always surprise me about your introduce yourself, Lucas. Thank you for the dedication. And I have some empty about the ad of the ice cream. I love ice cream, and this month I try to don't eat the sugar, fats, and something, and it's a more challenge for me, like ice cream, sugar. I really like that, but try to be more healthy, like hashtag same of you. Andrea, your turn, please.
Yes, it's so interesting the way that Brizola introduced himself, right? Because every time it's something new. Congratulations, because I've been struggling to change my presentation, but let's go, let's try, okay? So I'm Andrea, I'm 47. I live in Guarujá, the coast of São Paulo. I am a little upset, guys, to be honest, because since 2016, it will be the first time that I will not go to Lollapalooza. I decided not go this year, but I've already regret about my decision because I really like the environment that Lollapalooza can bring. But okay, next year I will return. So I'm a person that really like going to rock concerts, as like you can see, guys. I like to drink wine, cooking, stay with my friends, with my family, and I also like practicing my speaking skills here on Talk and Talk. That's it about myself. What about you, Camila?
I'm Camille, I'm 25, almost 26. I currently live in, let me see, Cabo Frio, Rio de Janeiro. I work with education and at the same time technology in education. In my free time, I like to go to the beach. I like to practice sports, watch movies, go to the theater, go to the concerts too. I have a dog, and recently I adopted a cat. Let me see, I like to cook, and I absolutely love travel and know other places, culture, food. I can do this for all my life, but I need to work to receive money, so I think that's it.
Oh, if he travel makes money, that was absolutely amazing. I also love to travel. So, guys, I will introduce myself. My name is Pedro. I am 25 years old. I live in Minas Gerais. I also love to travel, like I said before, but I just travel when had some opportunity because it's a little expensive depending the destination you decide to go. But this year I will try to make two travels. Is on my script. Maybe in the next holiday it will be possible. I'm just confirming some things and try to make that more cheaper as possible because it's good when you travel and you economize some money to like balance that things. I really appreciate that. So guys, let's go. Andrea, could you start with the first question and answer?
Yeah, yes, let's go. What's the think about growing up in the era you did? Yeah, that's it. What's the Oh,
Yes.
sorry guys. What's the best thing about growing up in the era you did? I believe, guys, the best thing growing up in my era was the opportunity that we had to play in the street, you know. I cannot see nowadays kids playing in the street. I know that it's really dangerous. So I think I would miss it a lot if I had if I how can I explain that? If I were in this time, in this era, if I growing up in this era, for example. So, and in my time, we used to play in the street. We used to play with I don't know how to say, tipo o jogo da vida, aquelas coisas de brincar, jogo de tabuleiro. I forgot that. Alguma coisa playboard, sei lá. Yeah, I think so. So I remember that. And of course, I don't know, we have more opportunity to interact with other kids, you know. And nowadays, people are just on the cell phone. So it's strange, in my opinion. But it's the life.
Yes. Nowadays, you saw like little kids just scrolling like so much young and know like how works a cell phone, and that for me is real strange too. Your turn, Camila. I want to know about you. I believe like we was born in the like the same age. I want to know about you.
I totally agree with Andrea because I had a little bit this in my childhood. And I always talk this with my boyfriend because in her neighborhood exists this people go to the street and kids play there. In my neighborhood, this don't exist anymore, and I think uh, maybe because of the violence. Sometimes this can happen, but I think it's super important, no? Because I see kids today, they're not kids like we was, we used to be. Go to the street and play and talk and use the imagination because nowadays they just get the phone and play a game there. They don't use imagination like on the street. But I had this, I think that my generation, people that born until 20s, I born in 1919, was the time of this transition. because I had this, but when I grew up, this stopped. Yeah. So I had this good part, and with the transition this for the digital era. So I think that I ran with the digital era, the internet, the cell phone ran with me, because when I was, I don't know, a teenager, with, I don't know, 14, start the popularization about the cell phone. 15 people had cell phone, but the most part didn't have a credits. We just had a game like Subway Surf, but we don't use the internet and the social media that people use today. So it was this moment, but I think that that's best thing maybe in this time when I was a child. I had a childhood that don't exist anymore or is difficult to find nowadays.
Thanks, Camila. Now, how about you, Brizola?
I totally agree with Andrea and Camila said. For me, guys, definitely having more personal interaction and the less dependence of technology for everything, playing outside, talking face to face, and the simplicity of everyday life. I love that. That's it.
Yes, I totally agree with all of you. Principle like that point Brizola brings with for us, because I agree. Like in the past, the things are more simple. I don't know if it is really simple because it's just a point of view, or it's really more simple in some points. But the other thing I wanted to share, like something that I real like in the area that I grow up, is the cartoons. I remember like some more really nostalgic and the really good with it. I know they don't have like the best message, like positive ones, but it was so much fun in some cartoons, because I like to play on the streets, but sometimes I like to watch TV Cultura, Futura, and the TV Globinho and things like that. That was a real good part of my history. I watched the Sítio Pica-Pau Amarelo too. I really watched it. And that has some things that I really appreciate in this area.
About this, I saw a video recently talking about these cartoons for kids, and it's very interesting because the video saw the difference between the cartoon the past and nowadays. And in the past, you had cartoons which was more not so fast, was in the normal speed, and things happen with not conscience, but with a purpose. You had the start, the develop, the situation, and conclusion. So and in some way had a message, like you need to be a good person. These cartoons, you need to, I don't know, respect the others, like. Let me see, Sítio do Pica-Pau Amarelo is one example. And I don't know if you guys saw this cartoon. I was in love with this. Pequeno Urso. I love that cartoon. And had a message there. And nowadays, this cartoons was too fast with a lot of light resource, and don't have a message to pass for the kids. And I saw this psychologist talking about how these cartoons develop a kind of sense of anxiety and a fast, the kids don't have a patience to sit and to watch the cartoon. So it was much better, especially Disney cartoons. I was fall in love.
Yes, I just I perceive I watched some situation like the kid was watching some movie, but they are skipped like for some parts, like the beginning. the middle and the end. Like if they don't want to watch like all the movie and things like that. Even for us guys, let's be honest, is totally difficult. Like when we stop to watch some movie and don't get our smartphone, that's something real bad. All right, Brizola, the number two.
Yeah, and what is the ho host think about growing up in the era you did? Guys, I would say the lack of easy access to information. Today, everything just a click away. But back then, learnings something new required a lot more effort and patience. That's it. And you, Andrea?
Yes, I think I would say the same because I remember that when I was a kid, when I was younger, if I needed to make to do something at school, for example, a work, a job for the school, uh, oh my gosh, it's not a job. It's like a homework. Let's do that. Let's say that is better. A homework for the school. I needed to search in the library, a lot of books, and you needed to find a better one that you could use in your homework. And nowadays, I think everything is easier because you go to the internet, YouTube, and you search about something and you find that. And because of this, the only cons that I can say is that, nowadays it's easier to find your information that you need and also to study, you know. We have a lot of internet courses. We have we are able to do a college through the internet. So in my time, it's not like that. We needed to work in the entire day and then 7 p.m. go to the school until 11, and the other day we needed to be prepared to do everything that again, and it could be really hard. I know nowadays still in this way, but I think we have more options to choose, so that's it. What about you, Camila?
Yeah, I agree about the technology. I think that is the great difference. Yeah, and the internet can give us a lot of opportunity to work remotely, to find a opportunity of jobs. For example, on LinkedIn, you can apply for a billion of jobs different. You can have a communication with people around the world. For example, when I was a kid, I don't know, 10 years or less than this, when I had actually six, my good mother, madrinha, went to Europe to live there, and it was super difficult to have a communication because she had to bought a kind of card which was so expensive, and with the time, years later, started Skype, which was you need to pay for use. So nowadays I just can send a message, start a call in WhatsApp, which is free. You just need to have a connection. So I think this is the greatest difference. Of course, there are pros and cons, but the internet changed the world. Like if we had an internet, we don't stay here, for example.
Yes, guys, I believe like everyone brings us some important topics. I totally agree about like the technology, information, and the access. Because I remember when I was younger, I started to study English when I was 10 years old, I believe. The internet was more popular, but not too much like nowadays. But when you want to get some information or like to study some English, the possibilities are so low. So you have to your first of all your city has to get some institutional to develop some to learn some language, and the possibilities like about everything are so low compared to nowadays. I believe like that was the worst part, in my opinion. But I believe like that, like network is another thing because nowadays you can discover uh, more easier about the other people like you have some inspiration of, and with that you can like know how the path the person did, and how you can like not copy but know what the step they did and what you can do like to get some success or something related about that. I believe like the information and the some networks was the worst part because even we had more touch, even with that, it's easier. It's somewhat difficult, like to get know some good professionals. You have to trip, you have to know some congress and things like that. That's my opinion. Camila, the number 3, please. Could you listen for us?
Yes. Do you think people were happy in the past, or do we just romanticize old times too much? I think that it's a mix, but I was thinking about this yesterday because I think that I was born in the wrong age. I should born in, I don't know, 1970 something. I want to have 4 and something today because I think was my gap. I like the songs. I like the political and economic uh, scenario in Brazil because we're easier, for example, to pass in a concours, to be a just stabilize your life was easier to buy to bought a house, for example. Of course, we romanticize a little, think, oh my God, in the past everything was great, but it wasn't, can be things that was better, for example. Uh, thinking the health perspective, for example, nowadays we have more technology, we have more treatment that we had in the past, for example. Uh, but I think people were not more happier, but we had a different lifestyle. And the lifestyle of today, that is, you need to have all of your life perfectly under 30s, for example, was different. So we are, and I think my generation passed with this a huge frustration about the adult life, because was different to the past. I saw my mom, for example, she and my father, they passed in a concours with 20 years, like, oh my God, I'm 25, and I didn't pass. So, and they had a car, they had a house, and I have a dog, the cat. So it's different, this generation, the opportunities, because the market is changing. So in the past, had a college, you were you of course you have a job. Nowadays, if you have a degree, was just a minimal situation. Also, you need to have a post degree. You need to know about 1 billion soft skills and hard skills. So life was different, and I think this simplicity uh, could uh, could make things more not so hard, you know. in some points the quality of life was better, and I think that the social media, it's social media, yeah, the social media, it's a huge problem because we pass a lot of time in Instagram, TikTok, see the others' life, and when you see our own life, we think, oh my God, my life is a shit, and the other is super was great. So I think that this point, the political and economic situation was better. For example, 20 years ago, you could have a better life, stability, and nowadays is a different in this perspective about buy a house, for example, is crazy and insanity. One house nowadays is almost 1 million reais. This is crazy. I think this about all the time because sometimes I think, oh my God, I will have a house in some moment in my life, my own house. Or I just need to rent a house.
Very good answer, Camila. I totally agree with you. It's my dream buy a house too. All right, Brizal, I want to know about your perspective.
Yeah, I would say a little of a both before the internet, ones that so present in your lives, and there is less social pressure and less constant comparison because of social media, but we also face a different talents. That's it.
Okay, interesting. What is your opinion, Andre? Go ahead.
Yeah, it's an interesting question. And I don't know, I don't think we romanticize so much the past times, but I think we enjoyed more the life, without so much concern about, as Camila said, nowadays we have a lot of we have technology, of course, it's really good, but the bad side of technology bring us a lot of mental illness like anxiety, and if you stop to think about it, in the past it w- it was not common to have a conversation with someone that tell you, oh, I am passing through difficult times, I am anxious, I don't know, this kind of conversation. I don't believe that existed. And I think the bad side of technology, social media, it's like that, we tend to be we tend to compare ourselves all the time, and I don't know, and we are always in a hurry. We don't have more patience to talk. We don't have more patience to sit in your sofa and watch TV, for example. At least for me, guys, it's really hard, have this time to sit in my sofa, watch some series. And when I do it, I feel a little regret because I think I should have done something productive than watching TV, you know. And I believe that in the past was not like that. We had time to stay with our family, friends, and the simple things like just a conversation or drink a beer or make a barbecue used to be so meaningful for you, not like nowadays, We have everything, we want everything, and at the same time, we think that we don't have anything. I don't know, it's strange. It's like a empty, a empty heart. I don't know if you are understand what I am saying, guys, but I have uh this feeling sometimes, for example, for me to listening a WhatsApp message in a normal way, oh my gosh, it's terrible. I cannot do it anymore, you know. So we are always searching for everything immediately. So it's not good, I believe.
Yes, guys, you bring like interesting points. So sometimes I believe like we a little romanticize like the past, but let's be honest. With this comparing, with this all access of information, we saw like the numbers, like the high levels of the depression, anxiety, stress. I don't know if this high elevation is just because like this area or because in the past that was not having some relevance for the society. But in my opinion, in my personal opinion, I believe like the high level really increase because it's more common. I like you talk with other one and they relate with some problems, this kind of problems, and it's a little bad because is the past, like the simple things like Andrea share and the Camila brings too, is a real more appreciated and have more signification for us. But even with this area, I try to like this last weekend I have dinner with my family, and I try to disconnect my cell phone, and I will just pass 3 hours with my family, and I will not check any message and things like that, like to real be in the situation. And for me, it was real good experience because it had a little time like I don't try like to real disconnect of the thing of the things and try to real appreciate this moment. In the past, like that's more easier to do because we don't have so much distraction, and it, the only distraction I believe like we had is our imagination. Like some people are talking with you and you're imagining like it floats from other things, like try to escape. But nowadays it's like it's so much easier.
Yeah, and I don't know, guys. We have a lot of opportunities nowadays, of course, with technology. You know, we are here in different places talking in English. You know, I am not saying that it's not good. Of course, it's really good, but I believe that we are paying. We are, yeah, we are paying the price for it. You know, because of this kind of uh mental illnesses, you know, sometimes a lot of information, we are paying the price for having a lot of things at the same time. I don't know, it's strange to think.
All right, I will read the next one. I believe it is the number 4. If you could spend one day in a past, what year would you choose and why? That was a real difficult. But I believe like someday in the 90 years, I want to know about that, like the generation about because I really appreciate some bands of this time, the 80s and 90s ages. I really like some rock band. I would just spend like some day in New York maybe, or soft like how the things work, like saw like the movementations, like the people real don't get a shit for some things, just living your life is and try to real appreciate the meaningful things. And I don't have like a real specific year or situation, but yeah, some day in the 90 or 80 for me will be a perfect like it, because I really appreciate the way the people, the clothes the people choose, the taste about the music is, and the is interesting like he saw like to how some movements of music is grows, and then nowadays how successful is that for like all the time. I believe like it will my choice. And how about you, Brizola?
For me, maybe os anos 80 ou 90, just to relive the culture habits and the atmosphere of that time without the massive influence of technology, and they also to meet relatives that I never had chance to meet, which would be my great great grandfather. Não sei se eu consegui falar corretamente, tataravô, Leonel Brizola. Ah, that's
Yes,
it.
get to know get to know all the party. That would be a very interesting too. I didn't thought about that. Nice choice. How about you, Andrea?
Guys, if I could, I would come back to 1992 because, in my opinion, it was one of the best year in my life because in this year I turned 15. I was in the last period of, I think, elementary school. And I don't know, I had a lot of friends. Everything was new for me. So I have good memories in this time, and I would like to come back to this time. It was really amazing. And of course, because of the music too, the 18s, 19s was the best time for music.
Just one question, just to pass to Camila. What's your favorite bands about these ages, Andrea?
In this age, Metallica, imagine. Metallica. 15 years old and I was crazy for Metallica, guys.
Nice. And how about you, Camila?
Uh, I don't know because it's so difficult to choose just one. And included there's a movie about this, which is very interesting. I love this movie. Is Meia-Noite em Paris. The guy went to the past and talking about the writers was amazing. I don't know if it was just to stay in a place. I like to went to Paris or New York. But if it was to know someone, I really would like to know Jesus. But the past, the era was so hard and difficult, and I probably die. But I like to know him, to know Martin Luther King. So if it was to know someone, I'd like to know them. But if it was just to know a place, probably New York or Paris in the beginning of the last century, so 19 something.
Thank you, Camila. Could you choose some questions to answer? Because I believe like we don't have enough time to answer all.
Me?
Yes?
Okay. I um let me see. The 11, if you could have a conversation with your younger self, what is one of the piece of advice you'd give based on everything that you learned? I probably said to myself, don't do this graduation, choose another one. I did a history in college, which is super cool, but if I could change, I probably did another one because history is super cool, but it don't give you a great opportunities in the area. It's very hard. And if I have money, I could do history when I was, I don't know, when I have money, like a hobby, not just for a profession. So probably this was my advice. Choose another college, thinking maybe in some technology area, because this can give you a money. You can work from home and receiving dollar maybe.
All right. How about you, Andrea? I want to know about you.
Yes, I think, guys, I would tell for my younger self that you need to study more. Don't give up your choices, you know. Keep going. The life is not easy, but you will achieve your goals. You just need to be more confident and believe in yourself. And don't think so much about the others people thought about you, because in the end, just you know about your value. That's it.
Real good advice. Thank
Thank
you,
you.
Andrea. How about you, Brizola?
I would say enjoy every moment without rushing to grow up, and don't worry so much about what others think. That's it.
Real good advice too. Thanks, Brizola. Some advice that I will give for me, I believe, is accept the changes, because my entire life I had to change so much, like in the count, like for other cities, and some changes like more personal, like try to not be so much shy, try to have more conversation with the other ones, not things like what the others will think about me, and just be myself. I believe like it's a real good advice, because with I don't accept that thing is when I was younger, and nowadays I try to accept more. And when I was younger, with not this acceptance of the situations of life, I was more rebel and things like that, and I believe like some things don't work too so good because of that, because there's some block, some feelings, and I thought I some change for me. I passed so much time to accept them. I believe like that was my advice. Your turn, Lucas. You just choose some question that you think is interesting to talk.
Uh, 1 second, please. Uh, Question number 5. Gostei da pergunta. What did the older generation use it to do that the younger generation of today will never understand? Uh, reading rebobinar, we reading cassette tapes with a pen to save a battery out the Alchemy. Deu pra entender? Ficou confuso. Hã?
Yes, we got. I don't was on this about I didn't use that. Sorry, guys. But I remember my father used it a little bit, but I know how it works. Like to, I don't know how, if he is the correct is rebobinate, or I don't know the word for that, for this action. And how about you, André?
Yes. What? Oh my gosh, guys. Which? Oh, gente, não sai. Peraí, vou reformular a minha resposta. O quê? What Brizola said, it's really interesting because I did it a lot. And I remember about Walkman. Walkman? Do you know, guys? This device, Walkman with a cassette, you know? I believe that new generation never know about it, you know, because nowadays it's about just streamings. You have Spotify and the others, so it's really easy to listening a music. And also when you needed uh, to record some songs from the radio, you know, you always ask it for God, for the locutor, don't interrupt you during the song, you know. The locutor used to talk a lot, and sometimes you are waiting best moment to record the song and was terrible. That's it. What about you, Kabila?
I think this about a video game because when I had a PlayStation, we used a CD. So when the CD was a little strange, we passed toothpaste on CD, this idea. And I think that was interesting and maybe universal. We is when we just pretend not care with the PlayStation. We just sit and don't look because if you do this, the game start. When they appear that color blue, and it was like, oh, it doesn't matter with you, video game. But and you saw, oh my God, they started. Amen. Thanks God. So about video game and buy the CD to put on video game because nowadays the PlayStation just buy online the game. And it was very interesting. Kids nowadays don't understand how how is this to buy this CD. And most part was pirata CD. It was not the official because it was huge expensive. So maybe this part. And you, Pedro?
All right. If I tell for I don't have children yet, but if I had a children and say to him, oh, when I was younger, I go into some place to use internet. He was so to me and they say, you are crazy. We have internet here. And I didn't go too much to learn house. I don't have this computer, but I remember like the how the generation works, like madrugadão the people use like to play games and things like that. And I believe like it's something that nowadays is illogical because it's not so much accessible for everyone, like using internet and things like that. But the past we have a specific locals to use internet to play games, and I believe like nowadays the people will don't understand like how works the internet. I didn't had the internet in my house like too much younger, but a neighbor of mine used like internet de escada, and I remember I come to of his house, and I remember how difficult it's like try to get some a good internet, and that he has other thing that if you would tell that for the new generation, you don't understand that. All right, guys, I believe we have just time for one more question, and I will put in your hands, Andrea.
Oh my
Your
gosh,
choice.
let's see. I saw an interesting question here, at least for me. Let's see, guys. Oh my gosh. Just a moment, guys. I lost. I think it's the question number 10. Some say that handwriting letters and printed photos have a special charm. Do you still keep any old letters, diaries, or photo albums? Yes, I do, guys. I have a lot of photos albums that with my family, with my friends. So, and I like to write. I have a diary. I don't know if it's the correct pronunciation. And of course, I don't put everything every day because it's an adult's life. I don't have so much time, but I continuing have album photos. It's special. What about you guys? Brizola?
Yes, I love como fala, álbum, né? Aí, inclusive falando até que eu sou um pouco velho por gostar, enfim. I still have some older letters and the photos and they have a sentimental value that nothing digital can replace. É como se olhando a foto, tocando a foto, é como se você estivesse conseguindo ver o momento, sabe? É uma coisa doida que eu penso. That's it.
How about
Sorry,
you, Camila?
ia falar agora.
Yeah, I love photos. And I want to back with this idea to print, to print photos and creating an album. I had a lot of them when I was a kid, but I don't have my own photos, but I want to do this. And again, internet can help because nowadays you can buy online album and you put all the photos there, you change and personalize, and the album arrive at your home. So this is super nice because you don't need to print one of them. You can create an album. I want to do this with my trip. So I have one specific trip and create an album with this moment. And I also have a diary, and I put some things there, not every day, not every time, but a special thing because I don't have a great memory, so I forgot about a lot of things. And it's interesting to rewrite and this things. For example, I rewrite a thing that I write 3 years ago, and I say, oh my God, how these things was so smaller, and nowadays aren't anymore. So I think that's very nice. You have this kind of memories, it's important because with time we forgot about some details and some photos. So I love to take a pictures, and I sometimes I have a Polaroid, which is nice, and I put on my armchair. But I want to create this habit to print photos in album.
All right, guys. I really appreciate albums of photos too. It's, it's a little shame, but my mother, every time someone came to my house, he took the albums of the mobile of the furniture, and it shows like, oh, saw these photos of my children and things like that. But I really like photos. I'm a photography, and a dream of mine. And I believe like I don't have like a specific day, but I want to buy an analog camera and make that again because I like the aesthetic. And some habit that I don't have is about letters, but I really appreciate like I saw like some real good letters and how the people real try to make it like a beautiful letters and things like that. My letters is not good. I believe like I will reprove myself if I was in the child school because it's totally don't beautiful, and I could be a doctor for my letter, I believe. But unfortunately, I'm not a doctor and I have not good letter. But I really appreciate photos, guys. That's my answer. All right, guys. I want to thank you everybody for this opportunity. I feel a little nostalgic. I don't know about you guys, but I feel a little nostalgic about discuss about these things. I put the survey on the chat. If you want to evaluate this immersion, suggesting new topics, I will so much thankful for that. And that is, guys. Thank you everybody, and have a good night.
Thank you, Pedro. Bye bye.